I'm Kelsey.
And I'm India.
And welcome to Two Girls in a Show.
Today we're going to be discussing episodes 2 and 3 of season 3 of Riverdale.
We've got a lot to go over, so let's get started. Let's start out with Archie and everything that's happening with him right now. We've got a lot to cover over the last 2 episodes. Where do you want to start?
The warden 1000% set him up.
Oh, 100%.
Because he's like, oh, you know, I know you're into music. We have this music room. No one's used it. Okay, Archie, like I'm in there on my freaking guitar. And then all the guys come in there and jump him for his shoes. Mm-hmm. So the warden, I feel like he was like setting him up just to see like how strong he was.
But moving on from there, now we also have, after he got his shoes, kind of sparked, what can we do to make it better in here for them as juvenile delinquents? That's even what they're calling them, or
yeah.
criminals, whatever. And Archie says, I know what we can do. We're all really buff guys, because what else is there to do in juvie?
No, everyone is literally so buff. I'm sorry. These are all full-blown adults. These guys are bigger than my dad. Like, it's just so crazy, but I am happy that, you know, he wanted to figure out a way for them to all come together and not be like animals in this place, but it goes left because the warden is not down for it.
No, and you can definitely see immediately how conniving he is. The fact that he was so open, one, like you said, to accept Archie and try and make him comfortable, but also be like, yeah, let's play football. That sounds fun. And then we obviously quickly see what happens with that. So now kind of jumping into past Archie, into his love outside of juvie. Let's talk a little bit about Veronica.
I'm very happy for her that her speakeasy is open. One, I'm a little upset. Actually, no, I'm happy that Betty kind of like whipped her into shape and was like, her speakeasy has been open for I don't know how long.
It was at least a month, I think she said.
And she's waiting for Archie to get out, and it's like, Betty, thank you for being a good friend and saying, hey, this is exactly what he did not want. So like, open your speakeasy, and it was beautiful. I was like amazed. Like, I was in awe. Going in and like going on the phone and like, what's the password? And this like secret, it just literally brought me back to like the 1920s. It was so cute.
Yeah, no, I completely agree that I love that she's now she has something to take ownership of that didn't come from her dad, you know, isn't associated with Archie.
Yeah.
And so it's hers. But I think it's good for her to have something to call her own. And the speakeasy, and, you know, not just Pops, but the speakeasy itself. Like, that's her vision, and she's finally see it come to life.
Yeah. I still find it hilarious that they're like 16 or 17 and she owns like all of these businesses, but hey.
They're mocktails, though. Did you notice that?
They are mocktails, but the fact that she like went to Cheryl and Tony and was like, free drinks all night. I'm like, I don't want like free fruit punch. Like, where do you? I don't want that. You were to spike it. We need to talk about the fact that her dad is trying to stop her from even opening the speakeasy by sending boxes and boxes of jingle jangle. Welcome back. To her business.
It's one giant circle around Hiram Lodge and his posse. Now that, and Penny again creeps the absolute hell out of me. She freaks me out. He specifically, Sheriff Mineta obviously went in because he knew exactly, and he knew exactly where it should be.
Exactly. I mean, they are literally making jingle jangle. So he literally probably had them pack it up and send it over. But like, what package was she expecting again? Because they thought it was something.
Right.
And then Reggie pulls it out and he's like, ooh, what is this? Like, it's freaking jingle jangle. While we're on the subject of Reggie looking in boxes and just Reggie being around in general, why is he unpacking things shirtless?
I mean, maybe it's like a pool boy situation where it's like Veronica doesn't necessarily know if she wants to touch or not, but it's nice to look at.
I mean, I do agree. He's very, very, very nice to look at, but I 1000% think that they're going to have some kind of thing. And I know that Veronica is so like Team Archie, but I think the longer that he's in juvie, the more Reggie is around, and Reggie is you know, Archie basically said, like, be the new me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make sure the team is good, make sure my friends are good and everything. I feel like he's gonna be around for the speakeasy. They're gonna have something.
He so easily falls into whatever role is necessary at that time. So he's going to be a confidant for Veronica.
Yes,
she's going to have some hard times coming up, and she's going to need a shoulder to cry on, and he's going to be the person that's immediately there to be
Which
that
is
shoulder.
why I think they're gonna have an accidental slip-up kiss.
Okay.
Veronica's gonna be like, oh my gosh, no. Reggie's gonna be like, Reggie's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, you're Archie's girl. I'm just supposed to be here to, like, make sure things are good. And then they're not gonna talk, and then they're gonna come together, and they're gonna have sex. And it's just gonna happen. I'm sorry. Did he not have a slight thing with Josie?
It was, remember when
Was
they
that
were doing
summer?
community service, and they were like flirting for like a hot second.
Yeah.
Oh, and then at the pool.
Right.
In
But she
episode
said it was just
2.
like a summer thing, or...
And she just goes, yeah, no, like, he kept like trying to hold her hand and stuff, and she was not having it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, he's a little broken now too. He's just looking.
He really wanted Josie. He wanted her to, like, sing him to sleep. I would be down. I'd be down for Reggie and Josie. I want Josie on the show, like, more. And maybe, like, with the speakeasy, she's a resident singer, which, I mean, do these kids do homework or go to school? Like, I don't know. But I need her on the show more. I need
agree.
her more. I want more, you know, Cheryl and Tony. I need them all there. Especially with, like, Archie not being there 100%. Like, he's off on his own with his juvenile friends.
Right.
I want the regular friends to be together.
Well,
more.
like you said, bring the characters that we haven't seen as much more to light.
Yeah.
So speaking of speakeasies, secretive things, and strange places that are new to us, let's talk about Betty and Jughead and their adventures in the bunker and in their search for the pamphlet for Griffins and Gargoyles.
I'm happy, you know, Betty and Jughead, they found the missing kid. He was in the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just interested in what this manual, the instructions, or whatever they called it, like, what does it say?
And he had the manual for a little bit before he took it and showed it to Betty, and then also when they brought it to their parents.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have read something and we just didn't know. And maybe that'll come up later in the season. But now I guess it really doesn't matter because everybody now has a copy of it. Which, how creepy is that? So, and now we kind of have an idea as to what Griffins and Gargoyles actually is. We knew it was some sort of game, but we didn't exactly know how it was played, how people were so, you know, how are people dying from it, first of all. And it literally is all inscribed in this manual that now Jughead found, and then everybody else has.
And everyone's going to want to play.
Exactly.
Which is kind of weird.
Why would you want to play a game where they're mixing cyanide and you can die, and people have clearly already died from
Exactly. That's the thing. They know. These are their classmates that have passed from playing this game.
It's crazy.
They don't play it.
I think as far as Betty and Jughead, it's what are they going to do now that everybody has a manual? They're not going to be able to keep that contained.
No.
Are they going to explain everything that they've already found out to their group, aka Cheryl, Veronica, Reggie, and maybe even their parents?
Yeah.
And 3, are they going to be forced to play this game?
You know what? They might have to play the game to figure out how to beat this Gargoyle King. But I don't know if we're going to get those answers yet, because the next episode is when they go back in time and they are playing their parents. So we're probably going to see what they went through, and then the episode after that, they'll probably figure out, we might need to play this game so that we can beat this Gargoyle King. Because Betty and Jughead have already saw it. I think everyone else is going to see it too. Because that king needs to come and give them instructions on what he wants them to do. But what is his goal?
It almost seems like, from what Ethel explained, it's almost like he just wants people to know about him. You know, I've spread your word, so, you know, people will know everything about you and will continue to play the game. I think he just wants everyone to, one, interact, but
Yeah.
also he just wants to be able to like entrance people and control them.
I'm just happy that this is kind of cult-ish. I think I said that last episode, but I'm very intrigued.
I just like that there's so many really, really interesting things happening.
Yeah.
Not only do you have Archie in juvenile, you know, in juvie, trying to survive and figuring his place there and how to get out. Then you have the Gargoyle King on the basically complete opposite, something from
Exactly.
very, very real juvie to something so unbelievable you kind of question whether it is real or
Yeah.
not. And then something kind of in the middle with the conspiracy and speakeasy and corruption of
And then you have the farm.
Veronica. And then you have the farm that's
Just
kind of like,
is, like
floating
right
around.
there. So yeah, that is nice that there are like different things. Because again, the Black Hood, it was like, yes, other things were happening, but it was like the Black Hood was the
Mhm.
main thing. Like, who is it? And like, what does he want? But like this, you have so many things that you need to try to figure out that you're like, oh my god, I have to watch. I have to figure it out. So, good job, Riverdale writers.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Two Girls in a Show.
If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button.
Also, make sure to leave some comments down below. We want to hear what you have to say as well. See you next week.